Grounded. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. The world is a vast, beautiful and dangerous place, especially when you've been shrunk to the size of an ant. Can you thrive alongside the hordes of giant insects fighting to survive the perils of the backyard? Yes guys, Grounded is finally out. The full release has just happened. Yesterday it was. I reviewed this back in 2020 when it was an early access release. Absolutely loved it. But today I want to talk about the full release, what I've noticed. Does it run well? What new stuff's been added? And is it obviously any good? First up, the options. There's a few options that you can tweak and twiddle with, and it ran like a dream for me. It ran really well. I didn't have any problems at all with any of the settings. It's got a FOV slider as well. If you don't like the field of view, you can alter that. Full customization of controls as well, which it should have. All games should have that. No problems whatsoever. It ran great. If you have been playing the early access and you don't want to start again, I've got some good and bad news for you. When you start the new build, the new release, version 1, you will be put back to the beginning of the game and all your quests will be reset. However, you will keep all your gear and your base. So you just have to kind of go back through the quests, doing the quests, and that's simply so you can understand the story, because essentially the story wasn't in the early access build and to the level that it is now. We've got the full story now. You can see why you were shrunk, who did it, and what happened. And also, most importantly, you've got a chance to actually get yourself back home, which is the whole object of the game. You do that by finding the microchips. You befriend a little robot. They've all been shrunk into various labs that's hidden around the garden, and you have to get microchips for him first so that he can restore his memory to tell you about the what the. So once you've got the what there's going on, then you can move on to the next phase of the actual story. Unfortunately, the microchips are hidden around the garden, and well, you can see where they are, but getting to them is another story altogether. You've got to craft all kinds of gear to actually be able to continue with the quests, because you have to go underwater, so you have to get underwater breathing gear. You've got to go into sort of poisonous clouds, so you make a gas mask from a weevil's face. There's lots of stuff, but I don't want to spoil it by showing you all of these things. That's because I haven't done them yet. But no, seriously, I don't want to spoil it for you, because one of the great things about this game is uncovering this shit yourself and actually craft stuff and get in there and explore all of that. So I don't want to show you all the different places that we've been, because that would just spoil it. And it's great when you just, in a game like this, like I say, just finding these places for yourself and seeing what they look like is just awesome. So what we've done in this game, we've played it for about 1.5 days, and we've created this sort of tower base. It's not very high yet, but we're going to take it a lot further, because I will be playing this in my spare time over the coming weeks and so forth. But we're building this little base. We've got a few bits of gear, not a lot, but we've got bow and arrows made out of spider bits. We've got an ant club, some basic armor made out of clover and beetles and stuff like that. And we've survived for a full. It's quite a brutal game, this, in the early stages, until you get some decent perks, and there's a bit of a perk system in now. And when you get some decent weapons and armor, then you can start being on a bit of a level playing field with some of the mobs out there. But at the moment, we are terrified. We are running around absolutely shiting ourselves, getting attacked off huge wolf spiders, mosquitoes, which are just awful. They're great fun, but they're just hideous to fight. We've got soldier ants coming after us, all manner of stuff. There's just, you name it, the amount of bugs in the garden, they're just everywhere. I mean, there's one bit I was getting chased and I was running and I saw Cass. She was stuck in a spider's web getting wrecked off a mosquito and a spider. And I was just like running past her going, oh my goodness, that's horrible. And then I had to run for cover in this little research tent. And I had a spider trying to get us, then a mosquito. It was just absolute, all hell breaks loose in this. It goes from peaceful tranquility, and then 1 second later, it's like the whole of bloody hell's coming out of the ground to get you. And that's why I love the game. It is so immersive. I don't think there's a more immersive game out there than this. It's just so brilliantly crafted. You literally do feel like you are shrunk, and in the back garden is a tiny little person the size of an ant. it does it so damn well, and with it running so well, and it's fully co-op with 4 players, and it plays great in single player as well. You do not need to play this in co-op if you don't want to. It's still very playable as a single player game. But it's just got everything, guys. It's got everything that you would want. It's got very deep crafting. The amount of stuff that you can craft is crazy. I mean, a huge amount of stuff that you can craft and upgrade for your base, for your armor, for your weapons. Nutrition as well. You can make all kinds of stuff to make stuff. I mean, you will eat the bugs. But yeah, you do. You eat the bugs in this game, guys. I tell you what, roast weevil is damn nice first thing on a morning with a nice dewdrop. Very nice. And to get the dewdrops, they're on blades of grass. You have to look up, find them, and then you smack the blade of grass and it falls off. There's also cans of soda just lying around, and you can go and get droplets of that. You can create a little canteen and fill that up, so when you go on adventures, you've got a bit of food and a bit of water on you. And we've had some great adventures just going from one part of the garden to another. It is just such a long way as a little person. And there's all kinds of stuff that you've got to get through. And you might end up not being able to get back home at night. And so you have to camp out rough under a little clover leaf lean-to that you make. It's so damn immersive, making a little fire and roasting a little fucking weevil on it, or a gnat. You know, it's just so good, guys. I highly recommend this. I mean, is it good enough to play with your kids? I think so. I mean, there is an arachnophobia mode where you can switch it off and you won't have to see the horrible spiders. But I say let them deal with the spiders. It's all. I mean, it is scary. When you're getting chased, it's kind of adrenaline pumping. When these huge spiders is coming, it's just quite. I don't like spiders, and yeah, it scares the shite out of me, this game. But I think it is a game you can easily play with your kids. I don't know what the certificate is of this game, but I don't think anyone even cares about that. But it's great fun with your friends, great fun in single player as well. I highly recommend it. It runs great as well. The quests is deep. The quests take a while to do, and there's quite a few of them as well. The game loop for this game as such is that every time you find a bit of gear, you can take them to this machine. It's called an analyzer. It will analyze what you found and tell you what you can craft. Essentially, it unlocks a load of shit that you could craft that's based on this actual blade of grass or insect part or whatever. And as you go to the different bases, you will learn loads of stuff because you will find so many new pieces of material, and as you kill things, you'll get insect parts that you can craft things out of as well. And when you do analyze something, you earn science points, and you use the science points to buy the new stuff that you can actually craft up. So for example, if you go to the main base where the robot guy is, he'll give you some quests as well that you have to do. But while you're there, you can buy with the science points. I forget the name of I think it's an ASL machine. You'll go there and you can unlock some really neat stuff to upgrade your weapons, your base, and stuff like that. So that's the kind of game loop: explore, analyze, and then spend your points to get bigger and better stuff whilst doing all the quests. And the ultimate quest is to get your ass home. So it's got everything, guys. It's one of the bright sparks of 2022. And I know it came out in 2020 as an early access, but it's a 2022 game because that's when it was finally finished. And I've only scratched the surface of this. I haven't the time to just do like a whole week playing it because I've got other things to do, and obviously moving house is taking up a huge amount of my time at the minute. So there's a load of stuff that I haven't done in this that I can't wait to get me teeth into, and I've got plenty of time to do it because you can save it all the time. Do you know one of the great things about it in co-op? The hosts private game, passworded, only your friends can join, and then at the end you can just save it. Everybody's stuff saved on them, and it's all great. But you can actually open it up so that if you are going to bed, say, and you want your friends to carry on, they can own the saved game, and they can save it when they go, and it's all just held. It's all just saved. It's brilliant. Very, very well done. So there you go, guys. That is Grounded. Highly recommend it. One of the top games of 2022. Not that it's had much competition, to be fair. But Grounded is a great game, and I don't want to take anything away from it. Brilliant.